Yakutia, the coldest inhabited place on Earth, experiences temperatures plunging to a bone-chilling negative 67.7 degrees Celsius. It's a land where survival isn't just a challenge, but a way of life. But how do humans adapt to this extreme environment? Let's explore Yakutia's frozen world. The expanse of Yakutia, known officially as the Sakha Republic, stretches across over 3 million square kilometers of land in northeastern Russia. This vast region, where winter is not just a season but a constant force of nature, stands as a land defined by extremes. The cold, unrelenting and harsh, governs every aspect of life here, from the architecture of homes to the daily routines of its people. It is a place where survival is not only about enduring the cold, but also about embracing it, learning how to live in harmony with a landscape that seems determined to stay frozen, no matter the season. Yakutia's wilderness is vast, untouched, and nearly endless. Snow-covered tundras stretch out as far as the eye can see, interrupted only by frozen rivers, jagged mountains, and sparse, hardy forests. The land's beauty is awe-inspiring, stark and breathtaking in its simplicity. It is a wilderness like no other, where the vastness of the environment and the harshness of its climate converge to create a world of isolation and silence. interrupted only by the howl of the wind or the occasional footstep in the snow. The long, brutal winters of Yakutia, which last from October to April, force both nature and people to adapt in ways most of the world cannot imagine. The temperature in winter regularly plunges to -40 degrees Celsius, and in the coldest place on Earth, the town of Oymyakon, it has been known to reach as low as -67.7 degrees Celsius. Yet, despite the severity of this frozen realm, life continues in Yakutia. And the land itself has become an inseparable part of its people's identity. There is no true spring or autumn in Yakutia. The land is locked in an eternal cycle of winter, and even during the so-called warmer months of summer, the ground never fully thaws. Permafrost, the frozen earth, remains solid beneath the surface year-round. This constant cold influences every part of life, from the tools used to hunt and gather to the way people interact with the land. It's a place where survival requires both physical endurance and a deep connection with the environment. The extremes of Yakutia are reflected not just in its weather, but in the natural wonders that fill the region. The Lena Pillars, towering formations of frozen rock, rise from the landscape like ancient sentinels guarding the land. These majestic cliffs, carved by the forces of nature over millennia, are one of Yakutia's most iconic features, drawing visitors and researchers alike to witness their striking beauty. Stretching over 40 kilometers along the banks of the Lena River, the Lena Pillars are a testament to the power of ice and time. They stand as silent witnesses to the land's history, a history that is frozen in every layer of rock and ice. The polar night and the midnight sun are phenomena that further define the uniqueness of Yakutia's environment. For months on end, during the winter, the sun does not rise above the horizon in this region, casting the land into a prolonged twilight known as the polar night. This never-ending darkness seems to stretch into eternity, a time when the world is enveloped in an eerie silence, broken only by the crunch of snow underfoot or the whisper of the wind. For the people of Yakutia, this is not a period of despair, but one of survival, patience, and preparation for the return of the light. When the midnight sun arrives, the landscape is bathed in sunlight 24 hours a day, for weeks at a time. The days blur together in a cycle of perpetual daylight, with the sun never fully setting but hovering just above the horizon, casting a soft golden glow over the snow-covered plains. This fleeting warmth is a time of renewal, but it is short-lived, and soon the cold returns with vengeance. The people of Yakutia, accustomed to the relentless cycles of dark and light, have learned to live within these rhythms, making the most of the brief summer while preparing for the harsh winters ahead. Amidst this unforgiving environment, the wildlife of Yakutia has adapted in extraordinary ways. The Siberian tiger, one of the rarest and most elusive creatures on Earth, prowls through the dense forests and frozen terrain, its thick fur coat providing insulation against the bitter cold. These apex predators have evolved to survive in the extreme cold, and their solitary existence is a reflection of the harshness of the land. While Siberian tigers are known to roam the forests in search of food, their movements are constrained by the biting cold and the vast emptiness of the land. Similarly, the reindeer has evolved to thrive in this frigid world. These animals are integral to the survival of the Yakutians, providing food, clothing, and transportation in one of the most remote and inhospitable regions on Earth. Reindeer herding is not just a way of life, it is a cultural tradition that ties the people of Yakutia to their land. The Yakutians follow the herds as they migrate across the tundra, using sleds to transport goods and supplies. The reindeer's ability to survive in the extreme cold is a testament to nature's resilience. A resilience that has allowed it to coexist with the harsh environment for thousands of years. The Arctic fox, with its fur that changes color to match the seasons, also calls this frozen land home. This small yet resilient predator hunts small mammals, birds, and fish, relying on its keen senses to survive in an environment where food can be scarce. The Arctic fox's ability to adapt to both the frigid winters and the brief summers of Yakutia makes it one of the many species that have learned to thrive in one of the world's most extreme climates. These creatures are not just survivors of Yakutia's cold, but are an integral part of the region's ecosystem. They, like the people of Yakutia, have adapted to the rhythms of the land, finding ways to coexist with the extreme cold. But these species face new challenges in the face of climate change, as the warming temperatures disrupt migration patterns and food sources. As the region begins to warm, these creatures must adapt once again, learning to survive in a changing world. As the cold continues to define life in Yakutia, it is not just the animals that must adapt to the shifting landscape. The people of this frozen land must also evolve, finding new ways to survive and thrive in an environment that is as unforgiving as it is beautiful. How do the Yakutians continue to live in harmony with the land, despite the constant threat of change? Let's explore how they have learned to endure the cold, embracing innovation, while holding on to their ancient traditions. Life in Yakutia is unlike anywhere else on Earth. The cold is not just a season, but a defining characteristic, shaping every aspect of daily existence. For most of the year, the land is locked in a deep freeze, with temperatures regularly plunging well below freezing, sometimes even dropping to -40 degrees Celsius or more. Winter stretches from October to April, and even in the brief summer months, the ground remains stubbornly frozen beneath the surface. Here, survival is not simply about enduring the cold. It is about adapting, embracing the challenge, and finding ways to live in a world where the environment itself refuses to relent. For the Yakutians, the extreme weather is both a challenge and a way of life. The region's weather is defined by its harsh winters, long periods of darkness, and an eternal struggle between freezing temperatures and fleeting warmth. The relentless cold, which grips the land for most of the year, forces its inhabitants to develop unique survival techniques and cultural practices that allow them to endure the environment's unyielding demands. Yakutia's extreme weather has shaped not only how people live, but also how they think, interact, and connect with the world around them. It is a constant force that drives innovation, fosters deep community bonds, and fosters resilience. The long winters of Yakutia are both breathtaking and terrifying. From October to April, the temperature regularly stays below freezing, making every day a battle against the cold. The short, harsh summer, which lasts only a few weeks, provides a brief respite, but even then, the ground remains frozen just beneath the surface. The relentless cold defines everything in Yakutia, from the construction of homes to the food people eat and the clothing they wear. It permeates every facet of life, shaping everything from architecture to the daily rituals of surviving in such an unforgiving environment. One of the most crucial aspects of survival in Yakutia is the ability to manage the constant cold through food traditions that have been developed over centuries. In a land where fresh produce and warmth are scarce for much of the year, the Yakutians have learned to adapt their diets to the extreme conditions. Traditional dishes, born from the need to survive harsh winters, are rich in nutrients and designed to provide the necessary energy to endure the cold. Reindeer meat, fish, and hearty stews made from game are staples of the Yakutian diet. These foods are not only essential for survival, but they also hold deep cultural significance, representing centuries of adaptation to one of the most extreme climates on Earth. Reindeer meat in particular is a cornerstone of Yakutian cuisine. The reindeer, an animal perfectly suited to the cold, has provided the Yakutians with food, clothing, and transportation for centuries. The meat is rich in protein and fats, which are essential for providing the energy needed to survive the brutal winters. Fish is another critical source of sustenance. The Lena River, which flows through Yakutia, is teeming with fish species that have adapted to the cold water. Fishing, especially ice fishing, is a primary means of securing food during the long winter months. The Yakutians drill holes in the thick ice that covers rivers and lakes, casting their nets into the freezing waters to catch fish. This age-old method of fishing, passed down through generations, allows the people of Yakutia to gather fish that will nourish them through the cold, dark months. Like reindeer meat, fish is often preserved through drying, smoking, or pickling to ensure a steady food supply throughout the year. The dietary practices in Yakutia reflect the deep connection between the people and the land. The food they eat is not just a means of survival, it is a reflection of their ability to adapt to the environment to make use of what the land provides, and to find nourishment in the most extreme conditions. But food is just one part of the equation in Yakutia. Clothing plays an equally important role in survival. The Yakutians have long used the resources around them to create garments that protect them from the extreme cold. Traditional clothing is made from reindeer fur, which offers unparalleled insulation against the freezing temperatures. These garments are not only practical, but culturally significant, representing the relationship between the people and the animals that sustain them. One of the most remarkable aspects of Yakutian clothing is the chum, a traditional portable home made from reindeer skins and felt. The chum serves as a shelter and a place to store clothing, food, and other essential items. It is carefully designed to retain heat and block out the harsh winds that sweep across the land. This portable home is a symbol of Yakutian ingenuity, allowing people to travel across the tundra with everything they need to survive in the cold. The use of insulated buildings, double-glazed windows, and advanced materials allows people to keep their homes warm even as temperatures outside dip to extremes. Yet, even in modern homes, the principles of insulation and warmth retention that have been passed down through generations remain central to life in Yakutia. The need for warmth is ever present, and the Yakutians have learned to live with the cold in a way that is deeply ingrained in their culture. The constant battle against the cold has created a sense of community in Yakutia. The harsh winters require people to rely on one another for support, whether it's sharing food, helping to build shelters, or simply offering warmth and companionship. But the resilience of the Yakutians is not just about enduring the cold. It's about finding ways to thrive in a land that tests human limits. Their food, clothing, and ways of life are not just adaptations to the cold. They are expressions of their enduring spirit. But how have these traditions shaped their relationship with the land? And how will they evolve as the environment changes? Let's explore how Yakutia's future will be shaped by both its ancient customs and the new challenges posed by a warming world. Beneath the relentless chill of Yakutia's vast wilderness lies a world frozen in time, a land defined by its ice-covered tundras and frozen rivers. It's easy to see Yakutia as nothing more than an inhospitable, frigid expanse. Yet, beneath this frozen surface, some of the world's most extraordinary secrets are hidden. These ancient treasures, preserved by the cold for millennia, have remained untouched, waiting for the day they would be revealed. As the permafrost begins to thaw, however, these secrets are surfacing, offering glimpses of a time long past. At the heart of this frozen land lies the Lena River, one of Russia's longest rivers, flowing through the very veins of Yakutia. This river, teeming with life, has been the lifeblood of the region for centuries. But the Lena River is not just a source of sustenance. It is also a powerful force that has unearthed the ancient world that lies beneath Yakutia's surface. Its freezing waters have preserved the bones of long-extinct creatures, remnants of ancient civilizations, and even the fossilized remains of plants and animals that once thrived in a world far warmer than the one Yakutia knows today. But as the planet warms and the permafrost begins to thaw, these treasures are being released, offering an unprecedented window into the ancient past. The Lena River, whose waters have cut through the frozen earth over thousands of years, now exposes these frozen remnants, leaving archaeologists and paleontologists with a new and exciting challenge: to uncover and understand the history locked away in the ice. Hidden beneath the surface of the thawing land, the rivers and lakes also carry the remains of ancient human civilizations. Artifacts, tools and remnants of ancient settlements have been uncovered along the banks of the Lena River, preserved for millennia by the ice. early human remains, tools made of bone, stone, and ivory, offer insights into how these ancient peoples survived in one of the harshest environments on Earth. These early humans adapted to the unforgiving climate of Yakutia, relying on their knowledge of the land and their ability to harness its resources. These discoveries paint a vivid picture of early Yakutian life, a time when humans were deeply connected to the land and its creatures, as using every part of the animals they hunted for food, clothing, and tools. The Lena River, with its freezing waters and ever-changing course, has become a repository of these ancient artifacts. As the river carves its way through the frozen landscape, it exposes the past, releasing the secrets that have been locked away for thousands of years. The water, once a quiet observer of history, has now become a witness to the uncovering of these ancient wonders. The very flow of the river itself, with its steady movement, has unearthed the stories of creatures and people long forgotten. But it is not just the fossils and artifacts that are being uncovered. Ice caves, hidden deep beneath the surface of Yakutia, are another remarkable discovery emerging from the thawing permafrost. These caves, formed over thousands of years, contain stunning ice formations, frozen stalactites and stalagmites that have taken centuries to form. Inside these caves, ancient secrets are still waiting to be revealed. The cold, still air of these caves has preserved the remnants of the past, offering a glimpse into a world that has remained largely untouched by time. These caves are a living testament to the power of ice. The formations inside them, delicate and beautiful, are frozen in time, captured by the stillness of the land. The caves are not only natural wonders, but they also provide a unique opportunity for researchers to study the effects of ice on the environment over millennia. As the permafrost melts, these caves are slowly revealing new layers of history, from ancient plant life to the bones of long extinct animals. Yet, even as these ancient secrets are revealed, they are at risk. The thawing permafrost is not just an opportunity for discovery, it is also a threat. The fossils, artifacts, and caves that are being uncovered are in danger of being lost once more. As the ice that has preserved them for thousands of years continues to melt. As the permafrost shifts, these precious finds could disappear beneath the thawing earth, leaving only traces of what once was. The delicate balance between preserving these ancient treasures and protecting the modern world is more fragile than ever. But as the land shifts and the past is revealed, one question remains. What else lies hidden beneath the ice? What secrets, fossils, and artifacts are waiting to be uncovered as the thawing permafrost continues to reveal its hidden wonders?